My name's R.T. Fitch from Houston, Texas. I'm a health, environmental, and safety manager. A typical day would be getting up long before the sun shines and check on all the animals outside before I get in the car and drive to where I pick up a bus that takes me into downtown Houston. Because I have the ability to check my messages on the Blackberry, go ahead and respond to a lot of those because we do have offices in West Africa that are 7 hours ahead. So these folks have already put a half a day's worth of work in. So it gives me the opportunity at 5 o'clock in the morning to give them timely answers so that by the time I reach my office, that nighttime influx of email has already been taken care of. It's somewhat amusing to hear people make the comment, I don't want a Blackberry because it's going to tie me down. Most of them don't realize they're 180 out. It has allowed me out of the office, out of the house, into some of the most unique environments where I don't even consider it intrusive. I've worked in the oil field. I began to see that it was much more advantageous to prevent an accident from happening versus patching somebody up and flying them in after they were hurt. So I became very, very passionate about the issue of safety and very proactive. The Blackberry for me over the past year has been my key to freedom, and it facilitates a great deal of travel from my home in Houston to West Africa. Halfway around the world, we did not have any landline support for our computers, but the Blackberry was up and running when it came to email. I received an email from my wife that she and her friend were going trail riding that day. Of course, we're 7 hours ahead, and this is evening for me, and it's morning there. So just on a lark, I checked the local weather in Houston, the animated radar, and believe it or not, just north of Houston was coming the mother of all squall lines, headed right for where our home was, and I knew where my wife and her friends were. So I immediately called her up. I said, you need to turn around and get back now. There's a storm coming that you won't believe. And when you get back to the house, please email me that you're all right. And then 45 minutes later, I had received a verification that they thought that was the coolest thing that ever happened to them. They got a weather report from West Africa, and I knew more about what was going on with my Blackberry than they did sitting right there where it all was happening.